colors, front and back, trimmed in white with Southern Miss on the front in black, trimmed in white as well. Pink jerseys and pink pants. Single black stripe on either side of the hot pink jerseys. No nameplates on the back of these for Southern Miss. Last time these two teams met was last year. Just a single game here at the Super Pit. That Southern Miss won the all-time series right now between these two programs. 5-5. Haven't played too much. North Texas, of course, joining Conference USA in the 2013-2014 season. On the other hand, for Southern Miss, they're one of the founding members of Conference USA. Been here for quite a while. Back to the days when Conference USA was one of the group of 5 powers in the early to mid-aughts. It'll be Rochelle Lee going for the opening tip against Kelsey Jones. 6'3" versus 6'3". Our official tonight, head official Bill Lawrence. He throws the ball up. The tip is won by Rochelle Lee. Back to Jazzion Jackson, and we are officially underway here from the Super Pit. North Texas in green. Southern Miss in hot pink. It's Nia Boyd with it. She'll go up top here to Maddie Townley. Hands this one off now to Jackson, who goes back to Boyd, who puts up a 3. That one's off the mark, no good. And the rebound's taken by Destiny Smith, who will now bring it up the floor. Slings it to Deshae Almond. Almond hands it back now to Wormsley, and the offense sets up here for Southern Miss. It's Gray with it down low. She'll kick it up top now to Smith. Hands this one over again here to Almond. Almond with it, dribbling right side, kicks this one over into the corner for Wormsley. Goes back up top again to Almond. Just 8 seconds to shoot here for Southern Miss. Almond attacking the glass. High shot up, no good, but draws the foul. It's going to be on Jazzion Jackson. She picks up her first personal. And that will put Deshae Almond onto the free throw line. One of the workhorses of this Southern Miss team. She's a 63% free throw shooter, and she nails the first one here. It's a 1-0 Southern Miss lead. Second attempt is also good, and it's a 2-0 lead here early for Southern Miss off of a pair of free throws. Now Nia Boyd with it up to Maddie Townley. Goes back to Boyd, who barely prevents it from being stolen, but now Boyd just driving right towards the cup, slings it outside to Jackson, over to Rochelle Lee down low. Lee looking, Lee dribbling, driving, now kicks this one to nobody. And they're going to say, no, it hit the leg of a Southern Miss player. That was off Wormsley, so it'll stay with the Mean Green here with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, a minute into this contest. It'll be an inbound for Maddie Townley near the Southern Miss bench. Gets this one to Nia Boyd, and now Boyd will look to set up the offense here quickly with just 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Boyd trying to drive down low, goes outside to Townley, who lost control of it for a second, now recovers, puts up the jumper, and Maddie Townley knocks it down, and we're even up here at 2 apiece. 8:44 to go in the first quarter. Back the other way with it. It's Gray, puts up the shot. That one airballed, and then a fight for it and taken out of bounds by Jones, and so it'll go back to the Mean Green with 8:38 to play here in the opening quarter. Townley with the inbound to Nia Boyd, and who will get it to Jackson, and Jackson brings this one across the timeline. A bounce looking for Quincy Noble that time, ricocheted off the shin of Deshae Almond and goes out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Mean Green. 25 on the shot clock here, 8:32 to play in the first quarter. Townley with the inbound to Nia Boyd, and now Boyd sets up the offense, directing traffic with her left hand, dribbling with her right. Now switches hands, gets a pass off to Quincy Noble. Noble thought about a 3 but didn't take it. Instead she drives inside, weaving around defenders, and Quincy Noble able to lay it up and in with the right hand. 4-2 Mean Green lead here with 8:14 to play in this opening quarter. It's Smith with it, high pass, deflects out of bounds, and it'll stay with Southern Miss. As they say, it hit Boyd on its way out of bounds. It'll be Smith doing the inbounding here, wearing the face guard. Gets this one to Almond, who will bring it across the timeline now, trying to get around Boyd, bounces it down low, and we'll get whistles and a foul called away from the ball, and this one's going to be on Rochelle Lee, who picks up her first personal. Second team foul against the Mean Green. Was not in the act of shooting, so it'll be a baseline inbound here for Southern Miss. It's Jones with it. Jones trying to get around Lee. Floater off the high glass is up and good, and it's a 4-4 ball game. Nia Boyd over to Townley. High pass down to Quincy Noble. Noble walks it up. Bounce pass to Rochelle Lee. Goes back to Noble, who immediately gets double teamed. She'll get it now to Nia Boyd at the point. Boyd, top of the key, outside to Jazzion Jackson, who puts up the three. And Jazzion Jackson knocks down the triple. 7-4, North Texas in front. Again, the Mean Green, the third best three-point shooting team here in the conference. And this one's stolen away by Quincy Noble, who's got nobody in front of her. Lays it up with the left hand and lays it in. Quincy Noble now with 4 points early on in this game, and it's a 5-point Mean Green lead, 9-4 with 7:19 to play here as the full court press defense giving Southern Miss fits. Here's a bounce to Jones, shot up, got it, and the foul. Foul called on Nia Boyd as she gets called for her first personal third-team foul already, and that will put Kelsey Jones onto the free throw line, the Starkville, Mississippi native. And one is no good. Coming away with it is Maddie Townley, who barely saves it from going out of bounds to Quincy Noble. Now Noble high pass over to Boyd, who had it tipped but comes down with it anyway. And now Boyd will set things up. Boyd attacking from the right side. Boyd shot up and fouled. This one's on to Shea Almond. Her first personal, first team foul called against Southern Miss. And that'll put Nia Boyd onto the free throw line here to shoot a pair. Boyd at 73% coming into this game from the free throw line. Again, Nia Boyd's improved free throw shooting is one of the hallmarks of this season. She was down around 50% last year. And her first free throw is off the mark. Second attempt for Boyd. That one's good. Makes it a 10-6 ball game as we roll under 7 minutes to play here in this opening quarter. Southern Miss trying to work it into the front court, and they barely do. And now holding on to it and slowing things down is Kaya Wormsley. Wormsley slings this one down low into the corner. This is Warren from three, off the mark, no good, and Quincy Noble comes away with the rebound, and now she'll try and work this one up the floor. Noble with it. Noble, big collision, and a foul is going to be called here on Southern Miss. It's going to be against Kelsey Jones as she traded paint with Quincy Noble. First personal, second team foul called on the Golden Eagles. So results in an inbound here off the baseline from Quincy Noble. Quickly finds Nia Boyd. Now the offense gets set. Noble with it here at the point. Noble looking. Noble had it poked away, and it's stolen by Grayson, who gets this one up the floor now. It's Wormsley with it. Wormsley contested shot up, no good. A fight for the rebound, deflects out of bounds off of Jazzion Jackson, so it'll stay with Southern Miss. And now the officials are going to discuss something here. Not sure exactly what. Not sure what that delay was for. But back to action. Here's the high inbound to Grayson, and then whistles, and Grayson traveled off that inbound pass, and so it'll go back to North Texas, a 10-6 lead for the Mean Green here with 6:22 to play in the first quarter. Nia Boyd, high pass over to Maddie Townley. Townley getting free there, gets it to Jazzion Jackson, who attacks the glass behind the back pass to nobody, and it goes out of bounds. Back over to Southern Miss as North Texas on an offensive roll right now. They've hit 4 of their last 4 field goals. This one stolen away by Nia Boyd, and now Boyd driving inside. Boyd shot up, and the foul for Nia Boyd. 5 of their last 5 from the floor as someone lost a shoe in the process. Count the foul on Destiny Smith, her first personal third-team foul called against Southern Miss, and now Nia Boyd here with the chance at a three-point play. Boyd with 3 points in this game, looking for her fourth to make this a three-point play. 12-6, Mean Green are in front. Here's the free throw from Boyd. That one rattles in and out, and the rebound taken by Imani Carter, who slings this one across the timeline to Gray, who's bottled up. She has to get it out to Wormsley, and now the offense sets up here for Southern Miss. Wormsley with it, being guarded by Jackson. High pass almost picked off by Quincy Noble. Instead, it's Gray who comes away with it. Bounces this one back up top to Wormsley. Rather, that's Carter. Now hands it off to Warren. Warren now back over here to Grayson at the point. Down low. High shot off the glass. Wouldn't land, and the rebound fought for it and taken away by Rochelle Lee. She'll get this one to Jazzion Jackson. Swings across the timeline. Jackson into the offensive zone to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it. Boyd looking, driving. High pass to Rochelle Lee. Lee shot up off the glass and good off the assist from Nia Boyd, and it's a 14-6 Mean Green advantage here with 5:18 and counting to play in the opening frame. Here's a high pass down low to Gray. Gray turning, driving, gets the pass off to Grayson down low. Grayson, a high shot off the glass, wouldn't land, but an offensive rebound from Warren. Her shot would not go, and the rebound is taken by Nia Boyd, and now Boyd up the floor with it. Nia Boyd backing up. Boyd finds Jazzion Jackson, who puts up the three. That one just off the mark, no good, but the rebound taken away by Noble. Goes up top to Nia Boyd. Boyd driving inside. Boyd collision and a foul. Call here is on Rose Warren, her first personal foul, fourth team foul against Southern Miss, and it'll be 2 free throws for Nia Boyd when we come back. 4:50 to play here in the opening quarter. North Texas in front of Southern Miss, 14-6. You're listening to Mean Green basketball from Learfield IMG College.
COVID-19 disrupted everything. We did what we do best. When we could no longer be together, we still found ways to stay close. When the #1 goal is to help students achieve their dreams, we overcome any obstacle, bringing education and opportunity for 130 years with a resilient, caring, and creative spirit. The University of North Texas, where education never stops.
Showing off their silver leaves as we walk by. Soft kisses on a summer's day, laughing all our cares away.
Coach McNellis, on behalf of North Texas Women's Basketball, I wanted you to know that we're thinking about you, we support you, and we're praying for a full recovery. I love your fight. You are tough as nails. We are McNellis strong because you are.
When COVID-19 disrupted.
In nearly 2.5 minutes. Out of this timeout, it'll be a pair of free throws for Nia Boyd. First free throw from Boyd is off the mark, no good. Boyd just 1 of 4 from the free throw line so far in this game. Second attempt is also off the mark, no good, and then whistles and a foul called on North Texas. And this one's going to be on McDowell, who checked into the game, so it's her first personal, 4th team foul called against North Texas. And now Southern Miss will try and bring this one up the floor. It's Wormsley with it, jumped and stolen away by Quincy Noble, who goes right to the cup, lays it up and in with the right hand. Noble's had a couple of those plays tonight where she's just jumped a pass right into the lane, and the full court press defense giving Southern Miss some fits here early on. Now it's Smallwood who's checked into the game. She'll hand this one off to Wormsley. Back down on a pass to Smallwood, who immediately sends it back to Wormsley, who will set up shop on the wing. Wormsley being guarded by Boyd, kicks this one over to Smallwood at the point, and now Smallwood high pass down low to nobody in particular, or rather that was intended for Grayson, but she couldn't get a handle on it, and it's stolen away by Tamisha Lampkin, who gets this one to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it back over to McDowell, faked right, now drives left and had it stolen away, and now back the other way comes Wormsley with it, being guarded by Boyd. A floater up and in for Wormsley, and that breaks a 3-minute, 12-second scoring drought for Southern Miss. 3:52 to play here in this first quarter. It's a 16-8 Mean Green lead. Noble with it. Noble trying to get around defender. She'll attack from the left side. Her shot up, no good, and a foul, though, called on Southern Miss. That will put Quincy Noble onto the free throw line. Lauren Gross gets called for the foul. That's her first personal, and that's the 5th team foul called here against the Golden Eagles. And so the first free throw off the mark, no good from Quincy Noble, but North Texas in the bonus for the remainder of this quarter. Second free throw is up and good. 17-8 now is the score. North Texas struggling from the free throw line in this game. They're just 2 of 7 right now, but still hold a 9-point lead in the ball game. Wormsley with it here for Southern Miss. About halfway between the wing and the point. Now she'll walk over towards the point. Gets the pass off here to Smallwood. 6 seconds to shoot. And now whistles, and a 3-second violation gets called on Southern Miss, and that'll hand it back over to the Mean Green. And a timeout is going to be taken here by Southern Miss. Going to be just a 30-second timeout. So we'll go ahead and keep it right here as the Golden Eagles trying to kind of get their wits about them here. They've committed 5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes, and North Texas is shooting without a problem at all. 7 of 9, including 7 of their last 8. 78% from the floor. If this holds for the next 3 minutes and 15 seconds, that would easily be the best shooting quarter of the season for the Mean Green. It'll be Emma Villas inbounding this one. She'll get it to Nia Boyd, and Boyd finds Jackson, who's immediately surrounded by a pair of defenders. Now gets it to Boyd, middle of the road pass to Lampkin, down low to Noble, who is right there. Beautiful ball movement from the Mean Green, finished off by Quincy Noble, and it's 19-8, North Texas in front. High pass gets this one over to Wormsley, and stolen away by Tamisha Lampkin. Lampkin gets the pass off now to Nia Boyd, who works this one across the middle of the floor. Boyd with it, pass over to Jackson, who takes her spot at the point. They go outside to Villas for 3, and Emma Villas with the triple. 22-8 with 2:40 to go as North Texas shooting lights out in this first quarter. Smallwood down low with it. Gets a high pass here over. They work it around now to Gross. Puts up the 3 of her own, no good, and then it collides off the face of Tamisha Lampkin and rolls out of bounds. So we'll stay with Southern Miss here with 20 on the shot clock. There's the inbound to Gross. Puts up another 3, and Gross responds to the Villas triple with a 3 of her own. And that snaps a 6-0 run over the last minute, 15 seconds for the Mean Green, including a 13-2 run. Now back the other way, shot up, no good from Tamisha Lampkin, but she does draw the foul. This one's going to be on Grayson, who picks up her first personal foul. North Texas already in the bonus. And that'll put Tamisha Lampkin here at the free throw line. Lampkin just a 40% free throw shooter. Her first free throw attempt off the mark here. North Texas just 2 for 8 from the free throw line in this game. Second attempt is good from Lampkin, makes it a 23-11 ball game here with 2:12 to play in this quarter. High pass over to Wormsley, who brings it across the timeline, finds an open Smallwood. Smallwood into the corner now for Gross, puts up the 3. That one off the front end of the rim, no good. Rebound taken by nobody, and Jackson finally finds it and is able to come away with it after a brief collision there. Now Jackson up the floor, gets this one off to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it outside to Quincy Noble. Noble puts up the three and knocks it down. Quincy Noble, her first triple of the game, 26-11. Mean Green in front. 1:40 to go here in the first quarter. Driving down low, high pass, nowhere. Stolen away by Nia Boyd, who now brings this one up the middle of the floor. Nia Boyd right through everybody. Boyd shot up, draws the foul. This is on Amani Carter, her first personal foul. Mean Green 4 of their last 4 shooting, and now Nia Boyd will once again go to the free throw line, just 1 for 5 from the stripe in this game. First free throw off the mark, no good. Rough day today from the free throw line for Nia Boyd. She's just 1 of 6. Second attempt, good for Nia Boyd, 27-11 as we roll under 90 seconds to play here in this quarter. Here's a pass over to Kennedy. Kennedy with it, drifting, gives this one over to Wormsley, who will now get the offense rolling, directing traffic with her left hand, dribbling with her right. Now gets a pass off that's almost stolen away, and Destiny Brooks trying to steal it, and Brooks does steal it. Brooks now driving inside. Brooks creating space, layup, and good for Destiny Brooks, 29-11. Mean Green pouring it on here in the first quarter. 1:05 to play in the frame. Wormsley with it across the timeline. It's now Gross. Gets it back to Wormsley, who will set things up offensively for Southern Miss, being guarded by Nia Boyd. Wormsley with it, looking, dribbling with her right hand. Pass over to Gross, down low. Now Gross trying to get through traffic outside to a wide open Carter, who puts up the three and knocks it down. 29-14 is the score. North Texas has hit their last 5 shots in a row. Destiny Brooks with it, holding. Brooks pivoting on her left foot, looking, and hands this one off to Nia Boyd. 27 seconds to go in the quarter. Boyd gets this one to Quincy Noble, who puts up the triple. That one off the front end of the rim, no good, and the rebound taken by Kennedy. Shot clock is off. 19 seconds to play. Here's a pass stolen away by Brooks again, and now Destiny Brooks comes up the floor with it. Brooks spinning, stopping, now gets this pass across to Nia Boyd. 10 seconds. Boyd, step back jumper, short, no good. Getting the rebound is Gross. Gross gets this one up to Wormsley. Wormsley right at the buzzer, shot no good, and that's how the first quarter will come to an end. 29-14 is the score. The Mean Green leads Southern Miss. Second quarter coming up. You're listening to Mean Green basketball from Learfield IMG College.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together, we will continue the conversation.
We have a voice.
Hi folks, Chris Fowler here, Dos Equis' new pour-by-pour commentator. Hey, a job's a job. Now, onto the pour. Look at it run. The ice-cold, refreshing cerveza rushes toward the 10 fluid ounce line. There's no stopping this crisp and delicious cerveza now. It's at the 11, 11.5, 11.6. Will it reach 12? There it is, 12 fluid ounces. Unbelievable. I'm crying. I'm actually crying right now. Dos Equis, a most interesting beer.
Here from the Super Pit. Again, the first game at the Super Pit for North Texas in 35 days, as they had 3 home games postponed due to COVID issues that were not theirs. It was Old Dominion and Rice who were struggling, and now Southern Miss will start with the ball here to open up this second quarter, trailing by 15. It is Allman with it for Southern Miss, backing up, being guarded by Jackson. Now she'll walk over towards the wing, driving inside, contested jumper, put up no good, but an offensive rebound from Jones, and Jones gets it to land on the putback. Second quarters have not been kind to the Mean Green this year. Here's a pass over to Noble. Her three off the mark, no good. After a 24-point first quarter against Louisiana Tech, North Texas scored a season-low 5 points in the second quarter of that game. That was their most recent outing that they ended up winning 63-58. Here's a pass over to a wide-open Gross who puts up the three. That one no good, and Destiny Brooks comes down with the rebound. Now she'll turn and walk this one up the floor. Brooks over to Quincy Noble. Noble with it, zings it all the way across to Jackson, down to Maddie Townley, right back to Jackson. Jackson driving, kicks it outside to Destiny Brooks, a three-pointer, and airballed out of bounds. (29-16) is the score, just over a minute into the second quarter. Here's the pass over to Gross. Gross coming down with it, backing up now, being guarded by Brooks. Gets this one back up top to Kennedy, or rather that was Carter, who now gets it to Almond. On the wing, goes to the point for Gross, who puts up a laser of a three, no good, but gets her own rebound, shot up no good, and draws the foul. Call is going to be on Maddie Townley, her first personal, first team foul this quarter called against the Mean Green. That'll put Lauren Gross onto the free throw line. First attempt is no good. Gross only 2 trips to the free throw line all season. She made 3 for 3 until that one. The North Florida transfer makes the second one, and then North Texas will make a couple substitutions as Kira Neal and Rochelle Lee both check into the game. 29-17 is the score as Jazzion Jackson brings this one up the floor, gets the pass off to Neal. High arcing pass to Jackson, goes down to Destiny Brooks. Brooks looking, weaving over to Jackson at the point now, who drives inside. Jackson pass to Lee, who hangs onto it, dribbles once, turns, fires, still would not go, and the rebound barely taken, and then a foul called away from the ball. This one's going to be on North Texas on Kira Neal. That's her first personal, second team foul called against North Texas. And so now up the floor with it, here comes Southern Miss. It's Gross with it. Pass up to Carter, who now hands this one off to Almond. Almond with it. Moving from her right to her left, being guarded by Destiny Brooks. Almond driving, pass down low to Jones. Jones, fadeaway jumper, knocks it down. North Texas still looking for their first points here of this second quarter. It's now a 29-19 game, 15-point lead trimmed down to 10. Destiny Brooks with it, pass over to Rochelle Lee. Lee with the jumper, that one off the mark, no good. A fight for the rebound, taken offensively though by Jazzion Jackson out of their kerfuffle there and sets it up again. They go over to Kira Neal, who's just going to put up the three-pointer. That one off the mark, no good. Flying in is Maddie Townley trying to grab the rebound, but it bounced off her awkwardly, and then a home run pass taken by Wormsley. Wormsley Euro step driving inside, jumper up and good, and it's 29-21. Jackson over to Townley, back over to Jackson again. Jackson up the floor with it, had it poked away, barely saved, gets the pass off here now to Townley. Townley trying to drive inside, down low, gets a pass here to Kira Neal. Neal shot up, sat on the rim, would not go. That's how the second quarter has gone so far for the Mean Green. They're still looking to score here in the first 3 minutes and 4 seconds of this opening frame. Gross with it, sends this one back to Wormsley. Over now to Almond, who holds it on the wing. Almond directing traffic with her left hand, dribbling with her right, now switches, drives inside, shot up, no good, but a foul called on North Texas. This one on Destiny Brooks. She picks up her first personal, third team foul called against the Mean Green. And a timeout will be taken by North Texas. We will take it with them. 29-21 is the score. The Mean Green still looking for their first points here of the second quarter, being outscored 7-0. 6:43 to play in this second quarter. You're listening to Mean Green basketball from Learfield, IMG College.
For 25 years, Conference USA student athletes have done things the only way that we know how, the CUSA way. In that quarter of a century, we've learned a thing or two about winning, both on and off the field. Our student athletes are more than just great athletes. They're fantastic students, and they're outstanding citizens who give back to their communities. We're committed to excellence. We are stronger together. That's the CUSA way.
Are you paying for your checking account? Well, you don't have to. At Guarantee Bank and Trust, we have a better way with Guarantee Green Checking. You get a free checking account with no minimum balance or monthly service fees. Even better, it comes with a free debit card, free online banking, free bill pay, and free mobile banking. And over 55,000 surcharge-free ATMs worldwide. Now that's a great value. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Guarantee Green Checking today at gnty.com. Banking with a capital G.
Second quarters, again, just have not been kind to the Mean Green this year for whatever reason. This is the third such game in which they've gone from an amazing first quarter to just ice cold in the second. It was most notable last time out. They scored 24 points in the opening quarter against Louisiana Tech and then followed that up with a 5 spot in the second quarter of that game. And out of this timeout, it'll be free throws here for Deja Almond, the Peach County high school product out of Athens, Georgia. First free throw is good. Second attempt, also good. What was a 15-point lead has been trimmed down to just 6 points here. A 9-0 run for Southern Miss to open up this second quarter. Jackson gets this one to Nia Boyd, down to Kira Neal. Neal pivoting on her left foot, gets this one over to Nia Boyd, and now shifts the offense around. Neal with it back over to Townley, finds Jazzion Jackson with it. Jackson at the point now, dribbling, faking left, driving right, kicks this one to Kira Neal. Neal with it, 8 seconds to shoot, hands this one off to Nia Boyd. Boyd puts up the three-pointer. That one off the mark, no good, and the rebound fought for and then stolen away, and they get it to Rochelle Lee, who lays it up and in. Awkward pass that Jones put up falling backwards. Instead went right to Jazzion Jackson, who found an open Rochelle Lee to give North Texas their first points of this second quarter. 31-23 is the score, under 6 minutes to play here in the first. It is Almond with it. She'll go down low here to Jones, turning. Jones goes up top now to Almond, who puts up the jumper. That one's short, no good, but an offensive rebound by Destiny Smith, and she'll get it on the putback. Makes it a 31-25 contest. 5:41 here to play. Jackson, or rather that's Boyd looking, getting it to Jackson. Jackson to Maddie Townley down low, who's immediately double teamed. Townley, high pass over to Jackson. Looking, goes down low to nobody. Split the field goal posts between Rochelle Lee and Kira Neal. I think both thought the other was going for it, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll go back to Southern Miss here. 11-2 run for Southern Miss here in this second quarter. Has made it a 6-point game. Here's a high pass over to Warren. Warren under trouble, had it poked away by Quincy Noble, and then whistles in a jump ball call here. Possession arrow with the Mean Green. Boyd. Townley back to Boyd. We'll take it across the timeline. Nia Boyd over to Jackson. Looking, finds Boyd at the point again, who goes across to Quincy Noble. Noble all the way across to Jackson. Jackson puts up the three. That one rolls across the rim, no good. And then Maddie Townley tried to go for the offensive board, but couldn't get a clean handle on it and deflected it out of bounds. And it'll go back to Southern Miss here with 4:55 to play in the second quarter. Southern Miss trying to bring this one up the floor. They do, getting it across the timeline. It is Gray with it. She's in the corner. Kicks this one up top now to Almond, and then Almond will pass it off to Gray at the point. And an offensive foul called on Kelsey Jones as she tripped up Nia Boyd. That's her second personal, first team foul this quarter against the Golden Eagles. Townley inbounds this one to Nia Boyd. Boyd bringing it up the floor. Boyd trying to get it across the timeline. Finds Maddie Townley. Fake to pass. Now Townley driving through. Townley, jumper from the free throw line. In and out, no good. And the rebound taken by Smith. Smith with it. Pass over. Now a collision. A trip as Maddie Townley goes down. Here's a three-pointer put up. No good. A fight for the rebound taken by Jackson. Weird sequence there. Jazzion Jackson with it. And we get whistles. And a foul will be called on Southern Miss. This is going to be on Rose Warren, who gets called for her second personal. Second team foul this quarter against Southern Miss. Warren has to check out of the game now. That'll be Jackson with the inbound to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, set up a screen. Now they go over to Townley. Goes right back to Boyd. Right back to Townley again on the wing. Townley driving down low, hands this one off to Boyd, who finds some space around the corner, weaving her way, goes outside to Jackson. Jackson over to Townley. Townley from the left elbow, that one in and out, no good, but she gets her own rebound and puts it back, but does not land, but she does draw the foul. That one's on Lauren Gross, her second personal. Bit of a scrappy quarter here for North Texas, and now Maddie Townley will head to the free throw line here to shoot a pair. Seventh in the conference in rebounding is Maddie Townley. 63% free throw shooter, averaging 8.5 points a night. North Texas in the midst of a 2-minute, 16-second scoring drought that Townley will try and stop here with her first free throw, and it rolls in to cancel out the scoring drought, makes it a 32-25 7-point Mean Green lead. Second attempt from Townley, that one's good as well, so 2 for 2 for her. And that makes it an 8-point contest, 33-25 with 3:47 to go here in the second quarter. It is Almond with it. Almond on the wing, now over towards the point. Gets a pass across to Smallwood, and then away from the ball. We get whistles and a foul called. This one's going to be on North Texas. It's on Rochelle Lee, her second personal, fourth team foul. Called on the Mean Green. She'll check out as Tamisha Lampkin comes back into the game. This will be a baseline inbound for Almond. Almond looking, high pass to Grayson. Grayson shot up and the foul. Excellent effort there from the Hattiesburg hometown native. And the foul's on Tamisha Lampkin, who gets called for her first, and that will put Southern Miss into the bonus for the remaining 3:34 of this quarter. Opportunity for a three-point play here for Grayson. She's a 54% free throw shooter. This one up and good. Southern Miss 6 of 8 from the charity stripe compared to North Texas's 6 of 13. Jackson with it, hands this one off to Nia Boyd, who now takes her spot at the point. Boyd calling out signals. It's the pass over to Jackson, had to go right through her hands and then stepped out of bounds. Only 4 points in this quarter so far for the Mean Green, who put up 29 in that first. Here's a high pass across now to Smallwood. Smallwood finds Almond at the point. Almond directing players, pointing out where she wants people to go. Goes up top again here to Smallwood, who faked a pass, now walks over towards the wing. Hangs on to it there. Smallwood trying to get her around. Kicks this one outside to Almond. Almond, jumper, knocks it down. 33-30 is the score, and a 15-point Mean Green lead is whittled down to just 3 points. Nia Boyd with it. Boyd, high pass over to Townley. Townley looking. Townley, no-look pass to Nia Boyd at the point. Boyd with it. Boyd, Noble from 3, short, no good. Rebounds taken by Southern Miss. Now up the floor with it comes Smallwood. It's kind of hung up there around Jazzion Jackson and has to kind of spin out and bounce out and get things going as she hands this one off to Almond. 2:16 to play here in this second quarter. Mean Green in front by just 3. Here's a jumper from the free throw line. That one in and out, no good. And then whistles and a foul called on Southern Miss. This is going to be on Grayson, who gets called for her second. Fourth team foul called against the Golden Eagles. Any more will put North Texas into the bonus. As Grayson checks out, Jones comes back in for the Golden Eagles. Townley inbounds this one to Nia Boyd, and she'll bring this one up the floor as we approach 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Maddie Townley with it. High pass that's going to be stolen away by Southern Miss, and it's Kennedy with it. She'll bring this one up the floor and then whistles and an injury timeout. As going down, can't see exactly who that is. For Southern Miss being tended to, I believe it's Destiny Smith. Might have taken an elbow or an arm or something to the face, as it looks like she's patching up her nose, and she's still in some considerable pain, so both teams will talk things over on the bench. Again, coming up on the First State Bank halftime show, we'll take a look at the James Wood Auto Park first half stats from this contest, and of course, at scores from around the nation via the Ramey King Insurance Sports Desk. 33-30 is the score as both teams talk this one over. If this stands for the last 2 minutes, and looks like the officials are going to review this, see exactly what happened on the play. And now getting up is Smith, and she is still a little woozy, but appears to be generally okay. I actually might take her back to the locker room. Indeed, it looks like they will. So she'll head back to the dressing room, and it's still a 33-30 game here. If the 33 points for the Mean Green were to stand, this would be their lowest scoring quarter of the season at just 4 points. That was after putting up 29 in the first. Friendly reminder that North Texas fans, you can join women's basketball head coach Jaylee Mitchell and men's head coach Grant McCaslin every Monday at Rudy's Barbecue in Denton for the Mean Green basketball lunch hour from noon to 1. Again, every Monday. The show is also available to listen to on 88.1 FM KNTU or on the free TuneIn app. North Texas in the middle of a scoring drought, or so a field goal drought to be precise. They've hit some free throws to add to their total, but they're their last 4 shooting from the floor. They've not made a field goal in 4 minutes. They've cleaned up the spot where that injury occurred. And now we're ready to get back to action here with 1:56 to play in this second quarter. There's the inbound to Almond, and she'll now bring this one up the floor. Almond with it on the wing, kicks this one over to Smallwood. They go across now to Kennedy, who puts up the three-pointer for the tie. That one no good, and bouncing off of hands will stay with Southern Miss. As they say, it hit Tamisha Lampkin last. So 20 seconds on the shot clock. Almond with the inbound. Hanging on to it, working around. I guess this one to Smallwood. Smallwood with it to Carter at the point. Carter hands it off to Almond, who gets the pass over to Hawkins now. Fess Hawkins into the game for the first time. 5 seconds to shoot. Here's a shot put up. That one off the mark, no good, and Tamisha Lampkin comes away with the rebound. She'll get this one over to Jazzion Jackson, who now comes up the floor with it. Jackson looking pass over to Nia Boyd. Boyd thinking about a 3, but didn't take it. Now trying to drive baseline. Now adjusts her GPS coordinates and works this one back up to the point, and will slow things down here as we hit a minute to go in the second quarter. It's Quincy Noble gets this one over to Jazzion Jackson. Jackson with it past nowhere. It's stolen away here by Smallwood. Smallwood bringing this one up the floor. Smallwood shot up and good, and it's just a 1-point game with 48 seconds to go here in the quarter. High pass over to Jackson. Jackson up the floor with it. Jazzion Jackson just driving right inside. Jackson trying to create some space. Shot up, no good, but an offensive rebound from Lampkin, and Lampkin turns and fires and gets it to land. 35-32 as there's about a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 35-32. North Texas is in front. It's Almond with it, dribbling just inside the offensive zone. Looks like Southern Miss may try and take what's essentially going to be the final shot here as Almond dribbling over towards her left side, bounces this pass, immediately gets it back though, driving baseline, kicks this one out to Kennedy. Kennedy spinning, Kennedy up to Almond, one to shoot, puts this one on, hits the rim, and then fighting for the rebound is McDowell, has to sling it up top, and that's how the first half will come to its conclusion. 35-32, just 6 points in the second quarter for the Mean Green after a 29-point first quarter performance. But North Texas is still maintaining the lead, 35-32. First State Bank halftime show is coming up next. You're listening to Mean Green Basketball from Learfield, IMG College.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
as a teammate,
as a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
Because it matters.
Because you matter.
Stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I'm feeling good. I just thought you should know.
40% shooting, 6 points, their second lowest total in a single quarter this season. North Texas now trying to put some more space between them and Southern Miss. They led by as much as 18 in that first half, watched it dwindle down to 1, and then were able to pump it back up to 3 before the second half started, and it will be Southern Miss ball here to begin this third quarter. Carter with the inbound to Almond. We are officially underway here in the second half between North Texas and Southern Miss. It's Almond working this one around here to Wormsley. Back to Almond at the point. Goes down low off of a pair of hands and will go to North Texas. Thought it took some deflections off of Mean Green hands there, but the officials say no. They say it hit Jones on its way out, and so it'll go back to the Mean Green here for their first possession of this half. It's Jackson with it. Bounces it down low to Rochelle Lee. Goes back up top to Jackson, who now hangs on to things. Slings it across to Quincy Noble into the corner here now for Maddie Townley. Gets it to Jackson, who might have saved it from being stolen away. Down to Townley. No, stolen away here by Jones. And Jones will find an open Gray, who brings this one up the floor. Gray back over to Carter from 3 to tie it. No good. Jackson, a fight for the rebound, and it'll stay, or go rather, to North Texas. 9:16 to play here in the opening frame. Townley with it. Gets it back over to Nia Boyd. Boyd hands it off to Quincy Noble. Now to Jackson, who takes her spot at the point. Hands it back off to Boyd as they continue to rotate around. A pass was tipped that time and then taken away by Wormsley. Wormsley to Boyd. Boyd barely saving it to Quincy Noble, who then walks this one up the floor. Bit of an awkward sequence there as now Noble gets this one back over to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it over to Quincy Noble, who had 12 points in that first half. Now it's Nia Boyd who puts up the three-pointer. That one off the mark, no good, but Maddie Townley gets the rebound and gets it to land on the putback. 37-32, Mean Green in front now by 5 points. It is Almond up the floor, gets this pass that went by everybody and rolls out of bounds. And so it'll go back to the Mean Green here with 8:27 to play in the second quarter, or in the third quarter, second half, as now Nia Boyd will dribble this one up the floor. Townley goes down low to Rochelle Lee on the pass from Quincy Noble, and Rochelle Lee finishes it off nicely. 39-32 is the score. Is now Almond with it, gets this one across to Wormsley, all the way across now to Gray. Gray shot up, no good, and it's going to be taken away by Maddie Townley, who now comes up the middle, gets the pass off to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, high pass into the corner for Quincy Noble. Noble puts up the triple, knocks it down, Quincy Noble, and now Noble in some pain after that shot. Not see what happened there, if someone may have came down on her foot or what, but a timeout is taken, and we will take it as well with 7:53 to play here in this third quarter. 42-32, Mean Green are in front by 10. You're listening to North Texas basketball from Learfield, IMG College.
When COVID-19 disrupted everything, we did what we do best. When we could no longer be together, we still found ways to stay close. When the number one goal is to help students achieve their dreams, we overcome any obstacle, bringing education and opportunity for 130 years with a resilient, caring, and creative spirit. The University of North Texas, where education never stops.
Showing off their silver leaves as we walk by. Soft kisses on a summer's day, laughing all our cares away.
Quincy Noble, who may have had a defender land on her foot after she hit the three, appears to be okay. They've got her on the exercise bike. It seems like she'll be good enough to get back into this contest. Meanwhile, Destiny Brooks in to take her place. It's Smallwood with it now for Southern Miss as we resume action onto the other end of the floor. Now with it here is Gross trying to get free. Instead she'll have to get it to Carter, who now in turn finds Almond at the point. 12 seconds to shoot. Almond with it. Pass over to Carter, who hangs on to things, or rather that's Smallwood. She'll back up. Smallwood trying to get around Jackson up top to Carter, who puts up the three-point ball. That one's off the mark, no good, and coming away with the rebound is Maddie Townley. Townley up the floor with it, gets this one to Destiny Brooks, wide open for three. Brooks just a little too short, but an offensive rebound from Townley gets it back to Brooks at the point, who in turn finds Jackson. Jackson outside to Townley, faked a jumper, now drives inside. Maddie Townley, floater with the right hand, no good, and Jones gets the defensive board for Southern Miss. She'll sling it to Smallwood, who runs up the middle of the floor. Smallwood, jumper up, no good. A fight for the rebound. She gets her own rebound. Shot up still would not land. And then another fight for the rebound. Rochelle Lee comes away with it and finds Nia Boyd. Boyd brings this one up the floor here for the Mean Green. Nia Boyd with it, faking left, driving right. Nice spin move. Shot blocked out of the sky that time by Jones, and it's stolen away by Smallwood, who then brings it up the floor. Smallwood to Gray. Smallwood shot up, no good. Brooks had the rebound for a second. It's a scramble for it. Still no one has it. Still no one has it, and it's finally taken by Carter at the point, and the offense can reset here for Southern Miss. Almond directing traffic, slings this one off to Carter now. High pass down low, and it's going to be stolen by Maddie Townley, who now goes right up the middle. Gets this one to Nia Boyd. Boyd on the outside to Destiny Brooks from three. That one in and out, no good. And then a collision, and Rochelle Lee is the last touch as it goes out of bounds. And we'll give it back to Southern Miss. Quincy Noble checking back into the game here for the Mean Green, so she appears none the worse for wear after a minor, what appeared to be ankle or foot injury. Is now Gross with it for Southern Miss. Gross turning, firing off the glass, no good. A fight for the rebound, a scramble for it. It's on the floor, picked up by Jazzion Jackson, who will outlet it now to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it, Boyd dribbling around, gets it to an open Quincy Noble. Faked a shot, now Noble drives baseline. Her shot off the high glass, no good. Hitting the rebound is Jackson. She'll turn outside, goes to Nia Boyd from three. That one off the mark, no good. Rochelle Lee comes in, gets the offensive rebound, turns and fires. Can't get it to land, but draws the foul. First foul called here the second half, and it's on Grayson, who picks up her third personal. That'll put Rochelle Lee onto the free throw line. Lee not a free throw shooter, just 1 of 8 on the season. And she'll get 2 here. First free throw, good from Rochelle Lee. Makes it a 43-32 game. 8-0 run to start this quarter for the Mean Green. Second attempt from Rochelle is no good, and coming away with it is Almond defensively for Southern Miss. She'll go right up the middle. Almond turning, now throws on the brakes, gets a pass down low that's jumped by Maddie Townley, and then Townley will turn around and bring this one back up the other way. Maddie Townley gets it to Quincy Noble, right back to Townley at the point. Over into the corner for Jazzion Jackson, puts up the three-point ball. That one missed just to the left, and then a fight for it, scramble on the floor. Rochelle Lee trying to go after it. It's still loose, rolling across the floor, and goes out of bounds off of Southern Miss last. Awkward sequence of multiple players swimming on the floor there for both teams. And after all that, it'll stay with North Texas. A couple substitutions being made, and now the officials are going to have a conference here. Not sure what for, and they're going to reset the shot clock. As I say, it changed possession in that swirl. Jackson with the inbound to Nia Boyd. Back to action here. 5:10 to play in the third quarter. Mean Green in front by 11, 43-32. Southern Miss has not scored yet in this third quarter. Nia Boyd with it. Back up top to Jackson. Goes down low to Rochelle Lee. Lee immediately double teamed and then fouled. This one's on Fess Hawkins, her first personal. And a timeout taken. We will take it as well. 4:56 to play here in this second quarter. Mean Green in front, 43-32. A 8-0 run to open up this quarter despite missing their last.
We have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard.
Outside sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
to make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together, we will continue the conversation.
We have a voice.
Hi folks, Chris Fowler here, Dos Equis' new pour-by-pour commentator. Hey, a job's a job. Now, onto the pour. Look at it run. The ice-cold, refreshing cerveza rushes toward the 10 fluid ounce line. There's no stopping this crisp and delicious cerveza now. It's at the 11, 11.5, 11.6. Will it reach 12? There it is, 12 fluid ounces. Unbelievable. I'm crying. I'm actually crying right now. Dos Equis, a most interesting beer.
Like Mean Green Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on Snapchat. Mean Green Sports is the best way to stay connected to North Texas athletics. Hashtag GMG. Southern Miss 0 of 7 shooting here in this third quarter. Again, they're yet to score a point. North Texas outgunning them 8-0. There's the inbound to Nia Boyd. Mean Green ball here out of this timeout. Pass down low to McDowell, and McDowell fouled. This one's going to be on Fess Hawkins, who picks up her second. Third team foul. So it'll stay with North Texas here off of another baseline inbound. Noble to Rochelle Lee. Kicks it up top now to Jazzion Jackson. Jackson with it, back over to Nia Boyd. Boyd dribbling between her legs, back up top, hands this one off to Nia Boyd. 8 to shoot. Noble puts up the 3. That one well off the mark, and the rebound is taken away here by Lauren Gross. And now Gross will try and work this one up the floor. Bounces this one to Smallwood, and Smallwood now moving around, looking for somebody open. Takes up a spot on the wing. Now goes over to the point. Stays there, goes back to the wing here on a pass to Gross, who's guarded by Noble. There's just a 3 put up. That one off the mark, no good. Jackson gets the rebound, gets the pass to a streaking Nia Boyd. Her shot up and good. Nia Boyd with the jumper. A 10-0 run here for the Mean Green in the third quarter. Southern Miss has still not scored a point, and we have 3:56 to play. Here's a pass over to Gross. Gross, fadeaway jumper, hit the side of the backboard, no good, and then goes out of bounds and goes back to the Mean Green. And Southern Miss cannot buy a basket here in this frame. North Texas not exactly shooting lights out either, just one of their last 8. They've still been making enough shots to keep pushing the pace. Nia Boyd with it to slow things down and now back things up. Pass to Rochelle Lee at the point. She'll hand it off to Quincy Noble. Gets it to Jazzion Jackson. Goes down low to Rochelle Lee. Finds it through traffic, and Rochelle Lee able to put it up and in. 47-32 is the score. Here's a pass almost stolen away by Nia Boyd, but they're able to get it up the floor. It's now Wormsley with it, and she'll dribble over and set up shop near the point. Wormsley Slowing things down, gets this one off to Hawkins, goes down low, gets it to an open Jones, who's able to finish it off, and there's your first points of the quarter for Southern Miss, 47-34. Nia Boyd across the timeline. Gets this one into the corner here. This will be a 3 put up. Front iron, no good for Jazzion Jackson. And then the rebound is going to be almost stolen by Destiny McDowell, but Wormsley able to come away with it. Gets a pass to the outside here. It's Smallwood with it, being guarded by McDowell. Smallwood over to Kennedy. Right back to Smallwood on the near wing. Smallwood trying to get around a double team. Kicks this one over to Jones, who puts up the jumper. That one rolls across the rim. No good. And coming away with the rebound is Nia Boyd, and she'll use her speed to get up the floor and bring it across the timeline. Waits for the rest of the offense to follow her up. Nia Boyd over to Quincy Noble, to Rochelle Lee, who's just going to turn and fire. That one no good, but an offensive rebound from DMAC. Goes back up to Jackson. Now it's Boyd with it. Boyd faking left, driving right, getting through traffic. Throws it up and gets the foul. What an excellent individual effort from Nia Boyd, and count the foul on Jones. And a chance at a three-point play. That's Jones's third personal foul. And now Nia Boyd to the free throw line with a chance at a three-point play here, 49-34. Couple substitutions for Southern Miss. And Nia Boyd with the chance at the three-point play. That one's good. 50-34 is the score. North Texas in front here. 2:06 to play in the third quarter. It's Almond at the point. Almond looking around. Gets this one to an open Wormsley. Back to Almond on the wing. Back over to Wormsley at the point. Slings it down low here to Carter, who just turns, fires, laser, no good. Then a fight for the rebound results in a takeaway rebound by Lampkin. Then Lampkin almost turned it over, and then it's saved by Jackson somehow out of that mess. Jazzion Jackson with it up the floor. Jackson looking, kicks this one to Tamisha Lampkin. Lampkin, nice patience for the Skies to clear, and lays it up and in. 52-34 is the score. High pass that is barely hung onto by Smallwood. She attacks the glass and lays it up and in. 52-36 now is the score as Boyd gets it to DMAC. Goes right back to Boyd, who brings it across the timeline now. Boyd moving players around. This is one over to Jackson. Finds Quincy Noble, goes down low to Lampkin, and Lampkin once again cleans it up in the paint and gets the shot to go. 54-36. It's an 18-point lead for the Mean Green, tying their game lead, and then McDowell going to get called for a foul here on that collision. That's her second personal, just the first team foul called against the Mean Green here in this quarter with 50 seconds to play in it. There's the inbound to Almond, and she'll work this one into the offensive zone here for Southern Miss. Almond bounces this one outside, goes right back to Almond. Almond pass that was bumped by DMAC, and then she'll deflect it out of bounds, so it'll stay with Southern Miss. Nice read there by McDowell to jump the passing route. Now we're going to see a substitution as Allie Kennedy checks back in. Kennedy missing the most recent outing with an injury against Louisiana Tech back on January 30th. There's the inbound to Almond with 15 on the shot clock. Almond back over to Kennedy. Kennedy, Wormsley with it now. She'll go back across to Kennedy. Fake to three. Now driving inside, goes out. Kicks this one to Carter. Across now to Smallwood. 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Just kind of haphazardly throws it up. No good. And the rebound is taken by DMAC. She'll get it to Nia Boyd. 14 seconds, 13 seconds to play. Nia Boyd with it. Clock down to 8, down to 7, down to 6. Nia Boyd driving inside, goes out here, goes right back to Nia Boyd. 3, here's a three-pointer, knocks it down from Nia Boyd, and that's how this quarter will end. 57-36 is the score. Nia Boyd's got 12 points, and the Mean Green are in front by 21 as the fourth and final quarter gets underway after this break. You're listening to Mean Green Basketball.
25 years, Conference USA student athletes have done things the only way that we know how, the CUSA way. In that quarter of a century, we've learned a thing or two about winning, both on and off the field. Our student athletes are more than just great athletes. They're fantastic students, and they're outstanding citizens who give back to their communities. We're committed to excellence. We are stronger together. That's the CUSA way.
Are you paying for your checking account? Well, you don't have to. At Guarantee Bank and Trust, we have a better way with Guarantee Green Checking. You get a free checking account with no minimum balance or monthly service fees. Even better, it comes with a free debit card, free online banking, free bill pay, and free mobile banking. And over 55,000 surcharge-free ATMs worldwide. Now that's a great value. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Guarantee Green Checking today at gnty.com. Banking with a capital G.
Fourth and final quarter getting underway here from the Super Pit in Denton. A comfortable 70 degrees inside, a chilly 20 outside. And that 4 points, as confirmed by the always great sports information director Becca Walters, the lowest the Mean Green have allowed in a single quarter all season. It's Mean Green ball here to start off this fourth frame. Nia Boyd goes into the corner here for Jazzion Jackson. Jackson with it, dribbling. Jackson pass to Lampion. Lampion, high shot, went off the back of the iron and then popped out. And the rebound taken by Southern Miss. It's Almond with it. Almond just attacking the glass. Her shot up, no good, but a foul called on Tamisha Lampion. And that will put Deshae Almond onto the free throw line, a 63% free throw shooter. First free throw up and good. Second attempt, no good, but an offensive rebound here from Gray. Gray turns, shot up, and rolls in. So a three-point play there for Southern Miss, as now it is Boyd getting it across to McDowell. The full court press defense being put on here by Southern Miss. They'll get it to Jackson. Jackson driving up the middle. Jackson just attacks the glass too much on that shot and then whistles, and a foul called. This one's going to be on Grayson as she picks up her fourth personal foul. So she'll have to check out, and Kelsey Jones checks in. Jones in some foul trouble as well with 3. So the two bigs for Southern Miss both in trouble here of fouling out. Here's the inbound to Lampkin. Gets this one up to Nia Boyd. Boyd to Noble. Noble pivoting. Goes back to Boyd. 8 seconds to shoot here. Nia Boyd with it, driving. Boyd looking, spinning, gets it to Lampkin. Lampkin, 3 seconds, shot up, got it, and the foul for Tamisha Lampkin. Count the basket. And the foul called on Rose Warren. Now a chance at a three-point play here for Tamisha Lampkin. And one is in and out, no good, and the rebound taken by Jones. She'll get this one to Allman, who works this one up the middle of the floor. Allman with it. Gets this one outside to Warren, who drives down low, then lost control of it, bounces it back up top to Allman, and the offense can reset for Southern Miss. Allman being closely guarded by Quincy Noble. We'll get it back over here. There's a long 2 put up, no good. A scramble for the rebound down low. Southern Miss comes away with it. Turning with it is Smallwood, and she gets it to go off the glass. Here's a high pass down to Quincy Noble, who comes down with it, and a foul going to be called here on Southern Miss. This is on Rose Warren, who picks up her 4th. McDowell checks out as Maddie Townley comes into the game. Noble with the inbound pass to Jazion Jackson. Jackson, high pass to Townley, but it's going to be stolen away here by Southern Miss, and now it's Smallwood bringing this one up the floor. She'll get it across the timeline, finds Almond, and now Almond will direct traffic. Takes her spot on the wing, now goes over to the point here, being guarded by Quincy Noble. Gets this one down low to Jones. Jones goes back outside to Gray. Gray, mid-range jumper, knocks it down. 7:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. It's a 59-43 Mean Green advantage. Noble gets this one over to Jackson. Jackson driving bounce pass to a Tamisha Lampkin who wasn't ready for it, and it goes out of bounds. Back the other way with it is Southern Miss. Here's a Eurostep shot up, no good. Sat on the rim, and Noble comes down with the rebound. She'll now turn, gets a home run pass over to Nia Boyd. Boyd with it. Boyd rolls across the front of the rim. Sat on the rim, wouldn't go, but an offensive rebound from Townley, who couldn't get it on the putback. And then the rebound is taken by Almond, who will bring this one right up the middle. Almond with it. Shot off the glass, no good. Rebound taken by Maddie Townley, and now Townley brings this one up the floor, jogging it, gets it to Nia Boyd. Boyd into the corner for Quincy Noble, who puts up the triple, in and out, no good, and then Jackson comes down with the rebound, and a foul will be called here on Southern Miss. And this might be the end of the game for Rose Warren. And indeed it is. So she's fouled out of the game. First Southern Miss player to do so. It's the fourth team foul called against Southern Miss, as time is called for both Nia Boyd and Quincy Noble to tie their respective sneakers. And we return to action. Jazion Jackson with the baseline inbound. Jackson looking, finds an open Maddie Townley. Townley spinning, shot wouldn't go, but she deflects this one back up top now to Nia Boyd. They'll get it across. Townley again with it in the corner. Faked a drive, then puts up the jumper, and Maddie Townley knocks it down, and she's got 8 points in this contest. Back the other way comes Southern Miss. Almond with it. 6:42 and counting here to play in this fourth quarter. Almond bounce pass to Kennedy, who hands it right back to Almond. Now Almond walks her way over to the point, gets it back to Kennedy again. Kennedy faking shots, weaving around defenders, puts up the long jumper. That one off the mark, no good. Rebound, though, by Grayson, puts it up. Still would not land, and Townley gets the rebound. She'll sling it to Nia Boyd, and here comes Boyd up the floor with it. A bounce pass to an open Quincy Noble, who lays it up with the left hand. Timeout is taken by Southern Miss. And we will take it, or will we take it with them? We will take it as well. 6:17 to play here in this fourth quarter. 63-43. Mean Green up by 20. This is Mean Green basketball from Learfield.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
Despite shooting 0 of their last 4 from the floor. They have shot 33% in this quarter compared to 37.5% for Southern Miss. Southern Miss has the edge in this quarter right now, 7-6, and they have the ball out of this timeout. Here's the high pass over to Smallwood. Now Smallwood driving down low. She'll hang on to it, gets this one across now, and they work it to Almond. Almond works her way over to the wing, now goes back across to Smallwood, puts up the three-pointer. That one in and out, no good, and Quincy Noble comes away with the rebound, her 5th of this game. Noble holding on to it, slings this one over to Nia Boyd. Boyd waiting. Boyd kicks this one back to Noble. Down low now to Tamisha Lampkin. Lampkin throws on the brakes, gets it up top to Boyd again. And Boyd will hang on to it there. 12 seconds to shoot, down to 11 for Nia Boyd as she backs up. Boyd with it, trying to drive inside, looking for a lane, slings it outside to Noble. Noble with 4 to shoot, she kind of haphazardly throws it up, no good, rolls across the front of the rim, and the rebound taken by Grayson. Home run pass here to Almond, and now Almond trying to get around defenders. Her shot up, sat on the rim, wouldn't go, and then goes out of bounds and stays with the Golden Eagles. Baseline inbound here for Southern Miss. Almond looking, getting it, and then stolen away by Maddie Townley. And Townley comes up the floor, spinning to avoid an attacking Almond, and she'll hand it off to Nia Boyd. And now the offense can set up here for the Mean Green as they let some of this clock bleed as we approach 5 minutes to go here in this contest from the Super Pit. 20-point Mean Green advantage, 63-43 if you're just joining us. It is that is Boyd driving. Shot was well off the mark, no good. And then a steal, and turning right around with it is Nia Boyd, who easily lays this one up and in, 65-43. High pass over. They'll get this one to Carter. She'll sling it outside to an open Wormsley, who puts up a triple. That one off the mark, no good. A fight for the rebound off the hand of Carter, goes out of bounds. And we'll go back to North Texas. There's the inbound to Boyd. She'll get the pass over to Maddie Townley. Goes down low here to Quincy Noble. Noble driving inside. Pass over to Jackson. Throws it down low to Lampkin. Dribbles it once. Turns. Fires. Shot hit both ends of the rim and popped out, and then goes out of bounds off of Carter of Southern Miss again. And so it will stay with the Mean Green. 20 seconds on the shot clock here as Jazzion Jackson looking to inbound it, finds an open Quincy Noble, who just turns and fires and knocks it down, and Noble's got 19 in this game, back above her season scoring average. Here's a bounce pass over to Carter, or rather that is Gray. No, that is Smallwood, and they move it all the way back up top now to Almond. Almond with it on the near wing, zings it across here to an open Wormsley. Wormsley turning, awkward shot, firing, no good, but an offensive rebound is taken here. Weaving, shot up, might have been blocked that time by Townley, and then goes out of bounds. 3:48 to go here in the third quarter. Still a 67-43 Mean Green advantage, an 8-0 run for North Texas over the last 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Southern Miss has missed 9 field goals in a row. Dow checks back in as Townley comes out of the game. And we get whistles and a foul called away from the ball. This one's going to be on Tamisha Lampkin. She picks up her 3rd personal. Second team foul called against North Texas here in this quarter. Here's a shot up and good that time from Carter. Breaks a scoring drought for Southern Miss of more than 4 minutes. Here's a pass to Jackson, gets this one to Lampkin. Lampkin layup wouldn't land, and then the rebound taken by Grayson. She'll sling it outside now to Smallwood, who runs her way up the floor. Smallwood trying to get around defenders. That one tipped by Nia Boyd, then goes out of bounds and will stay with Southern Miss. Emma Villas checking back into the game as Tamisha Lampkin comes out. 67-45 is the score. Here's the inbound. They get this one over now to Gross turning, pivoting, gets this one across to an open Smallwood, whose three is off the mark, no good. The rebound is taken offensively, though, by Almond, and Southern Miss can set up shop again. It's Almond with it, slings into the corner for Gross, who puts up the three-pointer. That one no good, and the rebound taken by McDowell defensively. And now she'll bring this one up the floor. It's DMAC with it right up the middle. DMAC just going right to the cup. DMAC throws it up, no good. Villas with the rebound, then lost control on it, and it's taken away by Gross. And Gross now brings this one up the floor, had it stolen away, rattles off a couple of shins, and let's see who they say it goes to, and they'll say it stays with Southern Miss. Jones checks back into the game here for Southern Miss. It'll be Almond on the baseline inbound with 24 on the shot clock. They'll get this one to Jones. Jones turning, firing, wouldn't land, but a foul called here on the mean green. This one's going to be on Emma Villas. Her first third-team foul called against North Texas. Nia Boyd checks out of the game as Destiny McDowell comes in. First two free throws for Kelsey Jones. First one is good. Makes it 67-46. Second attempt, also good. Makes it a 20-point game yet again, 67-47. Now this one's stolen away. Here is a shot up by Almond, and she knocks it down. Full court press being put on here. They get it to Villas. Across now to Quincy Noble. Noble jumping shot up and good for Quincy Noble, who eclipses the 20-point mark. She's got 21 in this game. Another leading candidate to be player of the game. Here's a jumper put up. That one knocked down by Deshae Almond. Full court press defense being put on again. Noble zings this one to an open Emma Villas. Villas shot up, no good, but draws the foul. This one's going to be called on Smallwood, who picks up her first. That's the fifth team foul, so that puts North Texas in the bonus for the remaining 2 minutes of this game. And now Maddie Cleary will check in. Quincy Noble comes out. And Emma Villas will take a pair of free throws here. Just her second trip to the free throw line in a mean green uniform. Went 2 of 2 on her first attempt, and her first one here is good. Second attempt is also good for Emma Villas, who's got 5 points now, and it's a 71-51 mean green lead. Now back the other way, Gross, a pass that goes awkwardly to Jones, and then Jones is able to draw a foul on the play. This one goes on Destiny McDowell, who picks up her third. That'll once again put Kelsey Jones onto the free throw line. Jones 2 of 3 so far from the charity stripe today. First free throw up and good. 71-52 here with 1:54 to play in this contest. Second attempt. That one is also good. That'll prompt another substitution as Kira Neal checks into the game. Destiny McDowell checking out. There's the inbound, and Jackson's just going to let it go out of bounds as it took a deflection off of, I believe, Jones. 1:53 to go here in this fourth quarter. The Mean Green up by 18 points, 71-53. Destiny Brooks with it. Brooks under pressure, slings a high pass to a wide open Villas, who gets it to Maddie Cleary. Tried to go back to Villas, but it's stolen away here by Southern Miss, and coming up the floor with it is Jaylee Smallwood. Smallwood, Euro step shot, hits the underside of the rim, no good, but a foul called on Kira Neal, who picks up her second. fifth team foul, so that will put Southern Miss into the bonus for the remaining 137 of this game. Now taking a pair of free throws is Jaylease Smallwood. First attempt from her is good. Second attempt, also good. Makes it 71-55. Jackson gets it off the inbound to Kira Neal, who bounces it across now to Brooks. Brooks looking, gets it to an open Maddie Cleary. Back to Kira Neal. And now Neal will set up the offense here as most of the backups in. It's Jackson over to Maddie Cleary, down low to Emma Villas. Villas looking, spinning, pivoting. Villas had it poked away, and that one's going to be stolen. Then stolen away again by Jazzion Jackson, who just walks it in and lays it up and in with the left hand. 73-55 is the score as we approach a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. Wormsley with it. Back over to Smallwood. Goes into the corner now here for Gray. Gray turning. Gets this one to Jones. Outside again to Gray, who slings it across to Smallwood. Smallwood into the corner. Here's a three from Wormsley. That one no good. Hits the front end of the iron, but an offensive rebound from Jones. Gets it right back here to Gray. Gray had it stolen away by Destiny Brooks, and now Brooks brings this one up the floor. Brooks with it. Gets a shot up. No good, but draws the foul here on Imani Carter. Second personal on Carter, and with 40.8 seconds to go, Destiny Brooks will head to the free throw line. Nia Boyd checks in as Jazzion Jackson comes out. And a pair of free throws for Destiny Brooks, who's got just 2 points in this contest. First free throw's good. This is just her second trip to the free throw line in a mean green uniform ever. Second attempt for Brooks off the front end of the iron, no good. Rebound is taken by Carter, who brings this one up the floor now off of a pass to Smallwood. Smallwood with it, working around a screen, puts up a jumper. That one off the mark, no good. Fight for the rebound. Jones gets it, still wouldn't go, and then Villas comes away with the rebound, and Villas able to draw a foul on the play. 24.1 seconds left. This one's going to go against Carter again. That's her third personal. And that'll put Emma Villas onto the free throw line here yet again. First attempt good for Emma Villas, who's got 6 points in this game. That is a mean green career high for her. Second attempt, 7 for Emma Villas with 24.1 seconds to go. It's now Smallwood bringing this one up the floor. Smallwood waiting with it, trying to work around Kira Neal. Smallwood turning, spinning, shot up, no good. A big scramble for the rebound taken by Nia Boyd. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Boyd slowing things down. She'll hold up, the clock will run, and North Texas will improve to 10-4 on the year and 7-2 in conference play as they get a 76-55 win over Southern Miss. The Texas Health Presbyterian postgame show is up next. You're listening to Mean Green Basketball from Learfield IMG College.